I call the meeting to order.
Okay, 1 second while we check. Give us the go ahead when you're ready.
Can you do roll call, please?
1 second, sorry.
Sorry.
Getting us. Now you may start. Go ahead.
Oh, staff, can you do roll call, please?
Yes, Commissioner Carter,
Here.
Commissioner Pat Gokar,
Yeah.
Commissioner Yang,
Here.
Chair Fung, Chair
Here.
with Vice Chair Fung absent.
Okay, thank you. Can we go ahead and start with item 1, approval of the July 17, 2025 Sustainability Commission minutes? Want to do that? Can you pull up the minutes? Okay, or has everybody had a chance to look at them?
I looked through it. Yes, we do. We both did.
Okay,
Would someone like to make a motion to approve?
I approve.
I made one change.
Yeah.
It's really dumb. Splash has an exclamation point at the end.
Okay.
It's part of the program name. It's like, anyway, otherwise it sounds like a cocktail.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So motion to approve is Jack.
Yes.
Okay, second is
Second.
Sonali, Commissioner Palengard. Okay, all in favor?
Hello. Aye.
All in favor?
Oh, can we do a roll call vote since we have?
Okay, yes, roll call vote.
Okay, Commissioner Carter,
Aye.
Commissioner Pat Gokar, Commissioner Yang.
Aye.
Vice Chair Fung is absent. Hanson.
Oh.
Got it there.
Yes.
Okay, and
Yes.
perfect, the motion carries unanimously.
We have it. This portion of the reserved for people that will address the commission on within the. Victoria, have any attending? To make-
Connie, can you mute while you're not talking? If you want to come up to the table, you're now able to come up. And is there a time or time limit? For minutes?
Yeah, it's great. Let me.
I can try to.
It's okay. She's in a meeting.
Okay, let me know when you're ready to start. Can I get a first and last name?
All right, so my name is David Kane. I live in the city of Los Altos. I'm here to speak to you about an initiative we have called the Electrification Collaboration. And this is a pilot that we started in that city, largely because the climate action plan has stalled. And all of the cities are region actually have climate action plans. They're excellent. But we wanted to engage the public in home electrification because we feel that that is a powerful way to engage the community. Situation that most of the cities have is they have excellent plans and they're trying to reach out to all of the communities. But where is the community reaching into the city team with a shared interest? So we started something about a year and a half ago as an experiment, focusing on this vertical area of electrification. And we were surprised to see that there were enormous number of ways to engage with the community because there's so much going on. So many people are investing in the new technologies, which is one of the pillars of your climate action plan. And it's turned out to be a wonderful way of creating that sort of synergy that's lacking. So what I'm here to do is to offer my colleagues So this is Vera Sower and Steve LaFleur to see if there might be an interest in us piloting the same initiative for Cupertino. And we believe that it would be a 6-month campaign. And this is purely voluntary by residents. This is something that would be undertaken with your knowledge, with as much participation as you like, but it's really evolving from the ground, from ground level up. So we've had some meetings with Susan and Jack. I could elaborate a little bit more, but I just wanted to say there's an offer on the table. And if you would like to pursue this with us, we would be delighted to work with you all.
Thank you.
Okay,
Are there any other members of the public wishing to speak?
I could. Briefly, so I'm Bill Ross here. Unlike my colleague, David Kane, I'm a Cupertino resident. I guess the main thing I want to add on top of what, David said, maybe a couple of things. One is that, about the modes of engagement, and then an ask. So this, I'm sort of new to the electrification collaboration team, but having seen what's been going on for about the last 6 months in Los Altos, it includes tabling, so meeting with the public. It also includes advocating with city council. And it helps if actual residents, from the city in question are as opposed to outsiders. And also outreach like to media, like letters to the editor. So that's some of what actually happens. And some of us are on an email thread, but hopefully in the next month or two, we'll have some tabling events, maybe at the senior center and the Cupertino Library, and where we could get folks maybe from Cupertino Rotary or maybe from the city who want to join in as well. So that's what we're doing. Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you. Wow.
Do we have any other speakers in person? And we have no hands raised on Zoom, Chair.
Okay, Commissioner Yan, do you have anybody there? Does she have anybody? I'm supposed to ask her, right? Okay, she has nobody. She can hear, just can't talk. Okay, all right.
No one.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. All right. Okay, so if there's nobody else that I'm moving to, written, can we move on to written communications? Is there any written communications?
No, we did have one written communication. Yes, that was sent out earlier today. Do you want me to pull it up?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
I
Give
did
me one
not,
second.
yet, and I looked a couple hours ago.
Okay, give me 1 minute.
Too many devices.
I should have had that pulled up already. Okay. This written communication is for item number 4. Okay. Does it have to be third at item number 4? I don't believe so, as it's written. Can you read that from there? Do you want me to make it bigger?
If you could.
Yeah.
For this old guy. Thank you.
You see?
Mhm.
See? Oh,
Oh, yeah, I was able to read it.
Ready? Okay.
okay. I'm not sure what to do with this, just acknowledge that we thought it.
Yeah, no, you can move on.
Okay, thank you. All right, staffing commission reports. Do we have any commission reports? Any staff reports? Staff reports first.
Staff reports first. Okay. We do have several. We did receive a B on our CDP report. That's just our annual reporting. Just keeping you updated on that.
What does that mean?
It is a scoring. Great. It's an international disclosure of all of the work we're doing and how well we're doing for our greenhouse gas reduction and staying on top of our climate action plan. The main reason we don't have an A is because our midterm targets are not completely science-based, which we received an A in the past and they were considered science-based, and now the science has changed.
So, okay, so I've come from two different worlds.
Yeah.
One world is that a C means you're doing your job. And another world is that if you don't get an A, then you're failing. So what world are we in when we talked about this stuff?
If you want to agendize it, we can go into it more. Offline.
Okay, I just was wondering how bad it was.
No, it's not bad.
Okay.
Okay. In other news, we have partnered with the Library of Things. So that's our Cupertino Library District, and we have given them induction cooktop portables with pans that are compliant and little magnets and information. So we have, I believe, 6 or 7 of those kits now that anyone can check out from the library at any time to test induction cooking. And that was just started this week.
Are they actually
Yep.
checking them out now?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought that was still pending.
So have they been, are they, is it popular or is it?
It started this week. We have not had any update on if someone's
Yesterday,
checked
they were rolled to the libraries.
We meet,
Don't have stats yet.
meet every 3 months, so I have to get as much out of this as I
Fair
can.
question.
Environmental Day is January 17th, 8 to noon, De Anza College, parking lot A. And we have our next composting workshop on February 28th. We did have a successful coat drive from November 22nd through January 2nd. And that collected over 220 coats. That's in partnership with Recology that we do this winter coat drive at the library every year. In more exciting news, we have confirmed that we have received $223,000 from a non-competitive grant from Silicon Valley Clean Energy, with the intention that we're going to put it towards the service center's new EV chargers that will fuel our municipal transition to comply with the state's advanced clean fleet. And then the last update I have for you, without going into it in too much detail, we completed a 8-month project that we got support from Bayren to complete what they call a roadmap. So we addressed 5 facilities at the city, and they looked at all of our air conditioners and all of our light bulbs and the infrastructure of the foundation of the walls and our times of when we're turning on our heat and air conditioners and how efficient things are, and made a plan for us and cost estimates on what we should identify as priority areas. And so we can go into that more if you want all of the nuances of it, but basically we finished a project and we're moving forward with recommendations where feasible for CIP to support sustainability work.
We have an expense estimate.
Yeah. It depends on per project. I can get into details more if you have. You
Yeah,
want
just-
all of
I'm
this.
just, it makes a difference of whether or not the city paying for the buck stuff. Just-
I mean, if we don't have so much time to go in detail here,
Well,
is it possible to?
It's not on agendized, so we don't want to discuss it, and it's not a
Right, so
formal
can you
presentation.
send like a,
We can put it on
Something.
the agenda next time.
Yeah.
No, if you don't want to put it on the agenda, can you just send like the figures and then
No.
can be.
It can be a public document. Yeah, we can make it a public document. That's fine.
Okay,
Any other ones for Ursula? Okay,
sounds good. When is the environmental fair?
Environmental Day, that's the paper shredding and drop off event, January 17th, 8th.
So,
Saturday.
can I talk now or
No, do you have a commission report?
no? I have a comment on the recycle day.
No, we're not there yet.
All right, so are we done with staff reports then?
Done with staff reports.
Okay, are there any commission reports? Anybody want any commissioners?
Happy New
reports?
Year to everyone.
Okay, good. Jack? Connie, do you have any commission report, any activity?
Sorry, what was it?
Any activity that you want to update us on?
Am I able to text it out?
Are you able to what?
Type it out?
Can
Oh,
she type it out?
Yeah, can she type it on Zoom?
No, there's no chat feature.
No,
Sorry. Can you rename the list again?
If you have any commission reports, any updates since our last meeting of things that you've done or attended?
None. Sorry, my speaker's really bad. None. Yes.
Thanks. Alex, Commissioner.
I guess I should say that I attended a meeting with these gentlemen. Susan, and we did not talk about any internal stuff here. We talked about their project.
Yeah.
And
I'm emphasizing that you have been attending on your own, not on behalf of the commission.
that's correct.
Okay.
And I also meet with representative at the Silicon Valley West Valley, whatever it is, food bank, and chat them up trying to get any inside information beyond that.
The other thing is we should get contact information from them too, right? Business card or something. You might want it for the report.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Quick question, and I'm not sure if staff is gonna cover this, but I'm curious to see the events that we plan on moving or participating in for spring. I know that that's just around the corner, and I always like to plan ahead, so maybe it's a question for later or in a separate email, but just wondering if there's a list of events that are available for spring.
I don't have that off the top of my head, except for Earth Day,
Oh, today.
April 5th, but I will send out,
Alright.
sorry, April 4th,
Fourth.
Saturday. I will send out a sign up sheet.
Thank you.
Cool. As far as, so you're done, right?
I'm
I don't
done.
wanna- Okay, as far as what I would update everybody else in the mayor's meeting, really quickly. So everybody talked, I was surprised it was in November, but I was in December. So it was in November that we met, briefly, there was a strong recommendation for commissions to provide short, high-level summaries because some commissioners do really long things. And then there's going to be a Brown Act training for everybody, because there's some concerns about the Brown Act Brown Act violations. And for the Planning Commission, they're looking at objective design standards for multifamily and mixed-use developments. So they're trying to make sure that they're bird-safe pedestrian bikes access and that the landscaping is good. Also, they want to have some kind of cleanup code for landscaping and protected trees. For the Economic Development Committee, they met and they're trying to figure out the impact of Super Bowl. Is that 60, I know, LX, I had to do the math. The FIFA World Cup and also the television show called Cupertino. They're very excited about that. So they're trying to capitalize on that. For the Bike Ped Commission, they have this vision now, it's called Vision Zero. And they're trying to do safety efforts and transportation planning. And they're aligning with the Sustainability Commission goals for reducing vehicle miles traveled. Also, the Housing Commission reported a productive review of housing programs and a desire to coordinate more closely with the Planning Commission on development-related sustainability items. And then Parks and Rec, they looked at facility usage and rates, and they're comparing the facility usage rates with other neighboring cities. So, and they also looked at the Lawrence and Mitty Park development. Key takeaway is that the mayor highlighted the importance of multidisciplinary coordination. She said that the work plan items such as the urban forest management and building electrification permits and reducing consumption panel were recognized as key components of the city's broader efforts to improve the quality and life of the community and our community resilience. So I thought that was okay. So no more staff communications. Okay, so can we move on to staff and communication reports? Do we
Old
have any
business.
staff reports?
We just did staff and commission reports. Now we're on old.
Oh, sorry, old business. Sorry about that.
There's no old business.
Okay. Then we move on to item 2. So to discuss the feasibility and general logistics of a sustainability commission run event or a panel in reducing consumption.
Okay.
So this was our homework.
This was your homework.
May I?
First, make it,
Yeah.
you don't have to hang around any further if you want to.
But
I
you're
mean,
welcome
I'm
to.
not telling you to leave, I'm just saying, you don't, we're not hanging.
Well, we're not gonna be invited to give more speeches.
No, but you can bring your slides on. No, I'm just kidding.
You can make any public comment about the items we're talking about. There's a public comment period. Most of the rest of the night's focused around waste. But there is a work plan of things that if you wanted to have an opinion on the work plan and what this commission's focusing on, there is an item about that. Later on.
Okay, but we're free to, on our discretion, to step out. Okay.
Yeah, we won't be mad. We will understand.
Hold your thoughts.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go over, I think I have 4 slides for you, related to this item. I pulled in a few bullet points here from the municipal code about the Sustainability Commission's powers and functions as I interpret it to apply to hosting some sort of event or panel or effort around waste consumption. And I just wanted to highlight a couple things. Number 3 and 6 are really pointing out that you're acting as the city council wants to advise you on how to create community awareness or behavior change and get participation. And then number 4 is saying that you have the power to create illustrative examples, to do a lot of different things, but design and roll out some sort of pollution prevention or etc. campaign. So doing some sort of campaign is within your scope, and then any other activity deemed appropriate by city council. So you advise city council and city council advise you that an activity is appropriate within your scope. Other projects that have been deemed appropriate by council for commissions to lead. I have 2 examples. The Teen Commission, it was hosting Cupertino to promote mental health awareness. This came from our previous mayor's project that he really cared about this, and it was funded by the mayor's project budget for that year. And because of its success, it was added to the base budget and is now hosted annually. Another one is the TIC Commission. TIC did a cybersecurity awareness event, and that was also council directed as part of their city work program item in 2024. And they just had that event in October of 2025. So those are 2 examples of how it has worked where council has directed a commission to do a thing. In my homework to you all, I asked you to take a look at the CAP and see if there was any specific engagement activities that called to you. You didn't have to pull from the CAP for this discussion, but that was my suggestion. So I pulled out a few that I thought might be appropriate. So the first one is an outreach campaign. That is considered deemable within your scope now. And then I quoted what the action says, conduct multilingual, culturally appropriate, diverse waste prevention, educational and technical assistant campaigns. And then the following two, Waste Warriors, that's like a master recycling type of program. So an educational program that is more about learning waste prevention. I will say that we are, as staff, are hoping to pursue this, but commission participation is welcome as deemed appropriate by council. And then the third one that I thought would be maybe fun and appropriate for this commission is to try to coordinate a fix-it clinic or repair cafe where you have people come in and fix their items. So any topics are welcome, but these are three that are pointed out. So as you are discussing your proposals and the feasibility of the proposals, I've highlighted kind of three options for you to address. Either one, to do an awareness and feedback campaign, where today you can make a motion to form a subcommittee and have two of you develop whatever campaign this looks like, however you want the words to say. If you want to make TikTok videos, the two of you would kind of decide that and take the lead. Or we can draft a proposal and advise city council on a way for you all to have an event in the future that you think is appropriate. They would have to then turn around and say, yes, we want to fund it and we want you to do it. And then option three is not feasible. The city should spend its money elsewhere. We don't have anything right now that's worth doing. And so revisiting this at a later date. So that's kind of how I have laid it out as feasible to help wrap your mind around things. And yeah, that concludes my presentation.
Okay. Any input, any comments?
I'll
So
take questions first.
questions?
I have a lot of questions, but
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Commissioner Fong.
thank you, Chair. So one of the first questions for staff, is there a particular interest that any council members have expressed, like, interest for the commission to take on? Because I feel like if any of us suggest anything that require council approval, we should probably take that.
Ursula?
Not that I can think of.
Not that I can think, not directly about sustainability commission should do this or sustainability should try to host any sort of event has not come up.
Right.
Yeah.
Got it. And you're not aware that they would oppose any topics or any specific topics?
Regarding waste specifically? No.
I,
Right, they've already approved the items under cap, so it's more likely that they'll approve moving forward with an item under cap.
Got it.
Which is kind of, I leaned in that direction.
probably budget related.
Yeah, anything that takes more budget will be less likely to be approved.
That makes sense. On to the point, and really quickly, not to take too much time. On to the point about forming subcommittee. For subcommittees, would those meetings also have to be posted?
No,
So like,
Yeah,
let's say if it's like Jack and Sonali, they can just meet and talk on their own.
it would probably be staff coordinated, so that the three of us, whoever would meet together and come up with a plan. And so it would look like if you wanted to draft a social media post or a flyer, that we would design that together. What do you want it to say? And then I believe we would have to come back together as a commission and say, yes, we approve these designs, and then they would get posted.
Got it. Okay, I'll shut up after this. Speaking of budget, there's no planned budget right now, right, for any initiative for the commission.
Correct.
Okay, got it.
yeah. I mean, I think they have budget for regular stuff that you guys like, but nothing for this time.
Yeah, no commission-led event.
Okay, anybody else? Commissioner Carter?
I'm already doing this and I'm willing to expand on it, but I'm doing composting workshops and we could do pop-ups during our festivals. if We want to. I mean, cause all my other ideas had nothing to do with us doing tabling, but targeting other waste things, which is not what you want to talk about right now.
Well, you can talk, I mean, we can.
Yeah, we can move on to discussion if there's no other questions.
I mean, if we want to, are we supporting your first idea right now or later?
My first idea?
Yes.
We were supposed to bring ideas, right? So
Yeah, but anyway, I always have ideas regarding waste, so that is my number one topic. So the second one, what we are suggesting, I'm okay with that.
Are you talking, supporting these ideas?
Yes.
The waste warriors.
Waste one, I'm pretty, yes, so.
Yeah, so Waste Warriors is a model right now that several other cities have done. So Santa Cruz and Burbank, Chula Vista, and we've been talking with a lot of them and getting examples of what that looks like for other jurisdictions. We have roughed it out to, it's a low cost activity. I would say definitely under $1,000, and it's mostly to do marketing and print materials for people who would attend. Our idea with it is that it would be about a 6 or 8 week course that we could have a pilot year of like 20 people come and learn about recycling and diversion. It wouldn't get into the nitty gritty of composting. It would be more like, where does our waste go? Bring in your items, learn if they're recycling, field trips to Smart or to Green Waste to understand how things are sorted on the back end. That type of knowledge that's not regularly accessible to the public.
So I personally think that block leaders are the best people for this job, right? So I really strongly propose that we should work with the block leader program. Because block leaders, if you have like say, so they divide the city in 5-6 areas. So you can have one area block leaders come in and run this program through them. It's like the way we used to do in school, we had art docents, right? So for each classroom, we have one person who we used to teach, and that person will go back and teach in the class. So similar thing where we have block leaders who we can educate and they can go back and educate their community. And like I being a block leader, I know every person on my block and they actually listen to me. I'm not saying listen to me, but they appreciate the knowledge that because city sends me information, I send them information and they actually like to discuss about it and like to talk about it. So I have little bit of confidence level from them, right? Like because I am a block leader. So that is a given in that case. So it will be like the information is coming from a good source, basically.
So hold that thought, because we're in discussion. Can we just make sure that Commissioner Yang doesn't have any questions? Commissioner Yang, do you have any questions?
I have no questions.
Okay, all right, let's just move on to public comment. So, Commissioner Yang, is there anyone there to make public comment?
Do I need to say it publicly?
If he does, yeah.
No one wants to make public comment.
Okay, I don't think anyone needs any public comments. No.
You never know, 400 miles away, you never know.
Okay, sorry. Okay,
Is she in China or something?
You're good.
Carson.
good, yeah.
Carson, yeah.
Tori, is there any there's no public, do you guys want to say anything?
On this item? No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right, now we can discuss. So we heard what you said.
Yeah.
Commissioner Carter, do you have any comments, discussion? Do we just open it up to everybody all at once?
You get to call on one commissioner.
Okay.
You're doing great.
Jack? Commissioner Carter.
I'm still wrestling with this whole thing because I have gone to green waste, which is really awful. And a few other, and the, transfer station in Sunnyvale. And my struggle is we keep trying to solve the problem at the end when the problem needs to be solved further up.
Yep.
And, I mean, even if it was just color coding on a thing saying this could go into that. So it's really frustrating because you can do really well and spoil your whole recycling or things by putting in the wrong thing. And that's my struggle with it. That doesn't mean I won't do it. That doesn't mean I won't be enthusiastically doing it. But it's my struggle is I think we're doing things backwards.
Just come to the school and see how bad it is.
Like, why I want to talk, exactly my thought, exactly what I'm thinking. Because a lot of people have, and I must have repeated this like in every meeting, I don't know. But like so many people that I meet with, they're very conscious. And nowadays, when there is a party, people try to buy compostable stuff. But then they are industrial grade compost. So they actually do compost, they put it in our compost. As I say, phase giving those green bags which are compostable, which are not compostable in our compost. But then I also was putting them in our compost, thinking that they are compostable. We need to go and talk to Safeway and tell them, right? So these are the things that we need to kind of talk about, see what people are thinking, and then kind of advise them. So
But that could happen at a meeting, I mean, at a tabling where you have an enthusiastic Jack. And we'll get also be finding out what are their issues,
Okay.
right?
So
Does that make sense?
what I just heard is that you don't want to host an additional activity or an event, that it makes more sense just to talk to the people at tables or at block leaders.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I said that, yeah.
You might say that, but I would also, I mean, I think we've talked about this at the compost, having from our some of our tabling is to having 3 boxes with the different colors. And then we'll start having it, and having stuff out there and asking people, where does it go?
We
We have
do
done
that
that,
when we
yeah.
table. We
Yeah.
actually do that when we
Okay,
table.
is
We
that,
have done that, yeah.
and then that is a talking point, things like,
Yeah.
and what are the things that are causing problems that, you know, that you see? Because then people will start thinking about it. Once they start thinking about it, then they'll start having ideas.
My problem is that when you do it at tabling, like when we're at these events, I get tired of saying the same thing about 800 times. And I would prefer a classroom because you get to say it once, and maybe that's my bias, but
As a
when
teacher,
when you said that you wanted to take cohorts of people, you know, we have a former mayor that runs a class out of Dianza. And he does it in leadership. And so this would be really cool. It would be like environmental waste warriors or environmental warriors. And it would be really great. And you could do like a 2-unit class and you could take the money and generate some income for our commission. And then we can do other fun things. Just kidding.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I'm not sure about that.
I don't know. I
I
just
don't know.
feel like you could run a class.
Yeah, yeah, but
So how would the commission be involved in something like that, I guess is my question.
I don't know, but I'm just, all that stuff that you were talking about with the cohort. That would be a wonderful class to open up to the community, and then you could get not just the block leaders, but you could get a huge diversity in age group and background and ethnicity. I just feel like it would open it up, especially if there was college credit.
of course, and then again, I also say that AP Environmental Science is there in all our high schools.
Yeah, but they don't all take it. They don't take AIDS.
Hey,
No, they don't.
my daughter,
Yeah, your daughter's not all. That's how many of them want to take AP Physics and.
but there are like at least 20 kids in that class right now, but that is the one you can do actually. So do some credit, ask the kids to do whatever. But the problem with the school thing is the teachers are busy and they are kind of, it's
Yeah,
very
well,
hard to put something in the school syllabus.
And I can send you a slew of kids, but, okay. Commissioner Fung, do you have any discussion?
I really do like the idea of the waste warriors, although because I am also staff for another city, I understand the trivial challenges of the commission's involvement in doing a program like that. I'm always very cognizant of budget, and since we have no budget or we have to go to council for approval, it seems like it may be easier to supplement with any outreach campaign. Personally, when I move at events, on behalf of the commission or myself, like even for Earth Days, there's a lot of materials that are generated and just ends up in the trash. Even the spoons and utensils, the metal ones that we pass out, they come with plastic bags and those end up in the trash anyways. So I feel like some type of digital outreach campaign, yeah, targeted, multilingual, culturally appropriate, geographically diverse, something along the lines of that may be helpful. And it could be an outreach campaign about like a waste warrior program that we can supplement staff's time. And the staff, it seems like if we go with the waste warrior program, the staff will be the ones who are running it, maybe our, and then our involvement was simply the outreach or maybe just attending to support or telling people about.
Well, it could ask also, like we're doing with the master composting teaching program. They pulled me in to do, the poor students of doing a section, one night. And so basically that's not a major, one particular session is not a major commitment. If I had to do the whole thing, it would be a major commitment. Well, I'm saying
It's a great point. I think all 5 of us on the commission would be happy to give 1 or 2 presentations, but that's actually a point of clarification for staff. If we were to do some type of class, would the commissioners be allowed to provide a presentation or an educational session?
So it's not, because I had asked that question
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
last time.
Well, so to correct me if I'm wrong, but what you had asked last time was like, can you present at a block leader meeting? Right? So no, I don't think that we could have you all as like the main people who go and teach the class. Because if you don't know the curriculum right off your hand of exactly what's recyclable, if you haven't read our whole 300-page franchise agreement.
that's the requirement of a section. It's not the whole 300-page thing. It's
Right.
chapter 2 and 4.
Right.
And basically, if I have to go give a presentation, if I haven't done my homework, I'm in trouble. Okay, with your work, if you basically have to do something, you need to prepare for it. So that's not, I'm not talking about we're running it.
Yeah.
We're talking about we would be guest speakers.
Well, and so that's the project examples of the other ones, right? So there's like an awareness event where the commission really does make the decision on who comes, who presents, how long is it, where is it located, how to do the outreach. Like they're making the decisions behind it. Waste Warriors would be definitely more staff intensive than a commission, but if there was specific chapters that you wanted to address of like, hey, we want a whole hour talking about single-use plastics, then we can draft the curriculum in partnership with you. My other thoughts on how the commission could be incorporated into this is if we have a cohort of 20 people, but 40 applications, you could help decide who gets priority seating in the first year of cohort, right? So those types of decisions could be made by you. And then in partnership with staff, if you wanted to attend classes that were led by staff, but if we did like breakout groups that you could facilitate a discussion on the side type of things, but it would be very much in partnership for that level of project.
So, yeah, another thing is like all those, the high school kids, they are interested in volunteering, so anything you can download to them. Probably like, I don't know.
Well, that's why I would also like to look at Rotary, because they're doing a bunch of outreach stuff too.
I should move my chair to the point.
That's okay.
No, the one people who help us at Earthly, right? All the organization, the students have.
Earth Day volunteers come from every direction.
So there are 2, 3, I think, in Monta Vista, at least I know that there are 2 or 3 sustainability related. And nowadays, I have some kids asking me like they want to take it as a major and this is a very good thing. So they are very interested in volunteering also. Right. So if we explore that idea, they might come and help you in like a topic which you want them to research, right? Like
They can volunteer on how to fix stuff at a repair cafe.
yeah.
Can I ask Commissioner Yang if she has any discussion points too?
Yeah. Commissioner Yang, do you have any discussion points or ideas on these proposals?
I'm good. Thank you.
I have one more and then I might have said this again and again. So I looked at a lot of apps for this purpose and they don't work well. But the app technology has come like a lot now after the AI, right? So a lot of things are like when you take a picture of your plate and it tells you whether how many calories are in, right? Like that. If the easiest way is basically people putting looking at that stuff through the phone and that stuff telling it whether it goes to recycle or not. But the challenge is that every city is different. So if there is a easier way to do like something like that, that's the best part. That's the best thing ever for anybody. Like all these people who have questions.
I mean, my personal, so waste 2.5 was actually one of my personal recommendations. The only other one, and maybe a little bit out of reach from our own scope, is that targeting the multilingual residential complexes, some type of outreach. There's so much waste that end up in the blue bins or the compost, and people don't. Yeah, I think all of us understand that. It's just a passion of mine because I live in a residential complex and yeah, it's a mess. Yeah.
And Cupertino is going in that direction now anyway.
Yeah, with all those new, with state laws and all these multifamily housing that's popping up.
Mm.
But
city do you live?
I live here. Yeah, you dropped me off at my house one time.
Well, yeah, but you're right near the border. But my point is, I went to San Jose and they do things differently.
Mm.
And
We're gonna learn all about that next.
yeah, so it's. When we're talking to the public, I don't know, I've been to our outreach things and there's often people from different communities. We probably do things different than Los Altos, right?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
And,
Different from Sunnyvale.
we don't have waste on Los Altos.
yeah, well, and at San Jose just throws everything together, which I went to the facility where they try to pull it apart, and it's like I'm going,
We have post-processing too.
so it's just talking about looking, having people start to think about do they need that extra plastic bag?
Well,
Do they need, when they buy something?
I
they need the
really
extra
like
bag?
Tori's idea to have a cohort or a class or online, some kind of videos, right, or something. And then stressing single-use plastics are bad, learning how to compost food waste, right? Repairing items. And you know what's really cool that the kids might really buy into is upcycling. That might be kind of fun, is to do some upcycling demos.
Thrifting.
Huh?
Thrifting, that's the trend now.
Well, or be, buy nothing, right? I'm on about buy nothing, right?
I like the one the senior center has.
Cupertino buy nothing.
Yeah, I was saying that, right? Last time I suggested that, remember?
The hidden treasures, yeah.
Yes, the hidden treasures of Cupertino has, and then I had suggested in the last agenda item for the waste. What was the name of that? My East Coast friend has, in the city, they have that. Waste, whatever, everybody brings together and then.
If we had a buy nothing group of
What was that?
Cupertino
I
one,
don't know.
it would be nice because then you don't, it's basically the swap, right? It's like this online swap meet. So then you don't have to worry about people swapping their stuff and leaving it. Right?
Yeah. Are you proposing the commission lead a new Buy Nothing group on Facebook? Okay, so I'm trying to hone the conversation back into one of these options, and then you can kind of go from there.
Well, I don't think we need to duplicate, that's the problem. Do we need to duplicate what, I mean, what's already out there?
For events or for campaigns,
Well, you were just talking about you have a new buy, you know.
Buy Nothing group.
Stuff, but there are local web pages that, media that for doing that.
So this group could create a subcommittee today and find those resources and make social media or some sort of marketing to tell people about the resources. That's an option, right? You can say, as a subcommittee, you can say, hey, I think the number one most confusing item is a boba cup, and we have to do a whole campaign around how to take apart your boba cup and sort it, right? So you as a subcommittee would identify what you think would be most appropriate for that campaign of how to reduce consumption. And it could be, what's your favorite thrift store locally? Or where do you buy used things? And it would be all informational about that. But so that's like the topic is to be discussed in the cohort. Right now, we just kind of need to figure out if we are going to lean towards a campaign and doing something now, or to try to put together a written proposal for a bigger event that you guys want to host. And so let's start with those two options. Are we leaning one way or another?
All right, Chair, can I just make a motion?
Sure.
It sounds like there is an interest to evaluate at least the waste warriors. It seems like three of us have expressed some form of an interest. So I'm just gonna take a stab at this. I would like to make a motion to form a subcommittee within this commission to evaluate the possibility of launching a waste warrior program.
So do we have to have two or three is okay?
You can second the motion and then it will go to a vote, and three is passing.
No, no, I mean,
Item specifically on the agenda.
oh,
Sorry.
Thank you.
no, I mean, in the subcommittee, can there be three commissioners or only?
Two.
Yeah, because three's corner.
Yeah, I can second it. I can
And-
second the motion.
Okay.
Discussion?
And sorry, question for staff, can there be multiple subcommittee requests from today, or are we just looking at one subcommittee?
I was just corrected that we can't actually form a subcommittee for starting today. So it
So
will
for next time.
for next time.
Okay.
Jump in a formal subcommittee.
Yeah.
That is after three.
But no, you can form multiple subcommittees at once.
So we got,
Can I
we got
make a
different
comment?
ones.
I personally like doing a website or something. I like linking pages and putting links, and so people can use it on their own. Like, would you like to learn why, first little lessons about sustainability? I mean, we can find all this stuff online. It's already created. And then you could link in upcycling ideas, how to trick out your jeans, that kind of stuff. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that's available already. Again, why reinvent the wheel?
So here is my thing, right? So as a person, I have a job, I have two kids, right? So even if I want to do it, it's an effort for me to go on a website and take a look at it. And I'll say, okay, I will do it. But then it doesn't happen today, kind of goes on the back burner. So I personally would like something which is on the phone. And if I want to have an answer, it's there. Like that is what I feel. And probably generation after me are like that, your generation also.
I look at websites on my phone all the time.
Yeah,
I mean, I would second the chair's motion on the basis that we're just forming a subcommittee to evaluate it. I think it
Right.
doesn't hurt to explore to see what that looks like.
website, yeah,
Website, film, whatever form of portal platform that it can be.
yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how we're gonna do this. So can we put it on the agenda next time to discuss forming a subcommittee to evaluate venues for starting waste programs? or something like that, a program to.
That was like my initial motion, I think. Oh, that was,
No, but we have to put it, we have to agendize it.
right, yeah. So,
Okay.
so for staff, do we have to vote on anything, or are we just providing feedback for staff to agendize for the next time?
That one, we are providing, because the agenda item today was discuss the feasibility of it.
Okay.
So we're saying, yes, it's feasible. That you guys all have the time and capacity to take on a project. And you can say, I would rather do a campaign or I'd rather do an event. And next time we're going to form a subcommittee to try to do an event.
I'd rather
Work
do
to
an event, like just an event, like I'd rather support the city existing events, you know, I mean, I don't know if we really need to make more events. Are we not covering it with Earth Day and with?
So what happens in those events? So there are not 100% Cupertino people, right? We are
That's okay, we can't, can't do.
I mean, we need to make, I don't know, but we are putting effort in, we need to make more focused effort also. I am happy to do, I like to do the tabling, I like to meet people and talk. So I like it a lot. But what is the ROI on that? We need to look at it, right?
Well, I mean, so this is just from my personal lens here. So there seems to be two discussions. We talked about possible subcommittee to evaluate the waste warriors. Then we also talked about a possible subcommittee to evaluate the portal or webpage. If
No, I think just a subcommittee to look at the feasibility of doing something, what would be the most feasible? Because you're talking time commitments, how much time do you have? Do you have 20 hours a week to put in to do this extra stuff? That's, you know, how much time would it be? What would the commitment be? What would be the frequency? Because anything that we do is gonna take a commitment of your personal time, all of us.
Oh, we could simply have a quick conversation right now about like how much time or how much interest in general. Because I mean, I don't mind putting in like an hour a week, for example. That's fine.
Yeah, me too, I am fine.
And I have a feeling that we're not gonna hash out a work plan since the subcommittee needs to be formed in consultation and partnership with staff. Staff will provide their input too, so it's not just a commission doing everything.
We meet every 3 months.
Well, the
That's what-
subcommittee can probably meet like more often.
So subcommittee can meet on often, but by the time we decide, next time we are going to discuss and then it's going to be 6 months done. Then we will start working on it, so that's the point.
I think the idea of waste warriors is there is a chance that staff are going to run it this year anyway. We have to get approval still, and we were supposed to get a yes or no this week, but we don't know yet.
But then have you decided on how you are going to run the program also?
Not in detail, no.
Right, so we can actually have a discussion about that.
So can we put it on the agenda to maybe form a subcommittee to help? Or help with, lend a hand with whatever staff does if they decide, I mean, how do we do this?
Okay, so add an item to the next meeting's agenda to form a subcommittee to coordinate. Okay, so you can either coordinate a proposal for council to consider, or you can form a subcommittee to
Aid in the design and implementation of waste programs? If it's approved.
Sure, if we're talking about a future agenda item, we can talk about it during the future agenda item section of the agenda.
Okay.
Yes.
okay.
All right, well, I was trying to close this one, I knew this was gonna be bad. Okay, all right, so, I would say we don't have anything to make a motion on at this point.
Correct. Yeah.
Commissioner Yang, I didn't call on you, do you have any discussion points?
No discussion points.
Do you have any members of the public there that have a discussion point? I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
Any
Or
comments, additional? Nope, nope.
I know, okay, can we move on then to item 3?
Yeah.
Okay, to receive a presentation comparing regional jurisdiction recycling operation. Please.
Thank you, everybody. All right, first slide is stuff that we probably already know, but just like to remind people that we have how it works in Cupertino is a franchise agreement with Recology to collect all the streams and then they go off places. Recology handles our organics, green waste handles our recycling, and currently landfill goes directly to New Yet. Next
Yep,
slide.
I'm with you.
Okay, so that's pretty much what I just talked about. So next slide is just sort of a visual on that, what I just said, where the stuff is going. And you can see for the green compost, it's getting sorted, and I have some idea that some is still going to, residuals are still going to landfill.
Oh, we printed that too. Like, that's the
Oh,
destination.
very nice.
So tough.
Okay, next.
Hand it out.
Sure. Would you have? You would like the color version
Oh,
of
wow.
where
Okay, thank
things
you.
go. Very excited, oh, sorry. Okay. I need this. Color.
Open it.
Anyone?
Yep.
There's two more here.
What color one?
Yep.
So that's just where our, yeah, we don't have that.
Thank you.
Okay, but to your question. How are other jurisdictions doing it? As we all know, all the jurisdictions are doing all kinds of different stuff. So I tried to sort of synthesize it into something that kind of made sense. So basically, jurisdictions in the Bay Area are sorting material into 3, 4, or 5 streams. And then different stuff is happening with those from there. With the 3 streams, you might have yard waste and food waste together. You might have garbage and food waste together. You might or might not be sending it off to be processed, the garbage. 4 streams. The only jurisdiction that has that does sort the garbage. And 5 streams, one jurisdiction does, other jurisdiction does. So we'll move on.
What do you mean by a stream? This is what I might confuse them.
A stream is basically a cart. You know,
Oh, different.
Organics, recycling, or garbage. Like
So if it has 5 streams, there's 5 different types of things?
5 different parts, yeah.
we will see.
Paper also one.
Yeah, so
What are
go
the-
to the next
Okay.
one. Okay, so 3 streams: organics, mixed recyclables, and garbage.
Awesome.
So right now, Cupertino, we put our yard waste and our food scraps together in the green bin, and we do not do any sorting of our garbage.
I want to add to that also your soiled paper.
Yes, food soil paper also goes in, yeah. And then us in the future, Palo Alto and San Jose, they sort the same way, but they do send their garbage. So Cupertino will be going to Smart, Palo Alto and San Jose already use the green.
And we are going to do that now, right? We are going to send our garbage for them.
When Smart is ready for us, probably early
Couple
next
of-
year.
Yeah,
try to write down your questions and we'll get there.
okay.
Thank you.
And then Santa Clara puts their garbage and food scraps together and then sends it off to the green waste MRF to get the organics pulled back out again. So just to confuse everybody, right? All right, next. So 4 streams, that's Mountain View. So they separate their containers from their paper. So instead of putting everything recyclable into one container, the one cart, they keep them separate with a divided cart. The reason they do that is to keep the paper dry and clean. Because as you know, containers can have water and food and debris and everything else on them. So they get a better rate for the paper if they keep it clean.
I had
They're recyclable.
form of beef in one of those, and that is really.
Jack,
There you go.
write it down for now. Thank you.
And Mountain View sends their recycling to Smart. And their garbage gets sorted at Smart. Okay, 5 streams. So we have Sunnyvale does the 5 streams. You know, so they do garbage, food scraps, paper, containers, yard waste. They actually have to do their food soil paper in the garbage. But because they are processing the garbage, a lot of that food soil paper gets pulled out as organics and sent off to get some recovery on it. Milpitas also has a 5-stream. And they keep their paper and containers separate. Have a yard waste bin, and they do food scraps and garbage, but they do not process their garbage. They're thinking about it, but they don't yet. Food scraps go off for animal feed input and or digestion to help run maybe a water treatment plant. Okay, next slide. So some notable recycling differences. I know this is always of interest. Who does what? Okay. Palo Alto accepts e-waste in the blue card, which just makes all of us cringe and horror, but somehow it seems to be working for them. They allow bioplastics in their green card and aseptic cartons like those soy milk cartons.
Really?
They say are landfill. So Palo Alto doesn't accept those. Or recycling. Mountain View has a separate program to take textiles bagged at the curb. They consider aseptics are recyclable and say no to bioplastics and compost. And then Sunnyvale, I always say, is the most super extra recycling of them all. So no clamshells, no hinge containers, no black plastic, no hot or cold cups, no film plastic, no hard plastic toys or buckets.
Same about garbage.
So they just keep all that stuff out because they want to market the highly marketable stuff and not the less marketable stuff. Cupertino, on the other hand, and Recology and Green Waste say plastics 1 through 7, buckets, black plastic, hot plastic, whatever, whatever, film plastic, bag it and put it in there. They will take it all. And the green waste folks maintain that they do usually have markets for all the materials they accept. They don't claim they necessarily have 100% of markets 100% of the time, but they accept it all so that when they do have a market, they can move it along.
And the remaining will go in landfill.
Wait, gotta write your questions down. Sorry, I got it.
Okay, next, just a quick review of some of the facilities in our area. Obviously, there's the Green Waste MRF in San Jose that processes materials via sorting. They actually do garbage processing and recyclable processing. So they were kind of, their competitor is smart in that in terms of garbage processing. And then the Smart Station also does both. And then for recycling only, California Waste Solutions handles a lot of San Jose's residential recycling. They have a MRF. Newbie Island also has a materials, recycling materials MRF. Next one is one you may have heard of, ZWED. So this is a facility that does anaerobic digestion, basically of all wet garbage materials. So they have, for their commercial, they have a wet dry system. And this was something that was of interest. I heard about it years ago. San Jose is doing it for their commercial stream. And then it all goes into these bunkers and is anaerobically digested. So that's just an interesting side piece there. Okay, next one. Okay, so how do our rates compare? We cover this when we do the rate adjustments every year, but just as a reminder, we're very on the low end of rates for the region. And all the ones in orange here are ones that process garbage. So you can see that doesn't even necessarily define who's the highest rate, because they have so many other little programs going on. Maybe you have, your textile collection or some other subtlety that makes your rates different. So it's hard to compare sometimes across. And then the next slide is where we'll be after we start going through SMART. This is where we, this is what we showed council when they approved that. So it'll bump us up more into the middle. Now, of course, these are all movable, so everyone's adjusting their rates every year, but this is where we're once we start routing to smart with our rates. And then next, is just, that's kind of, gives you a snapshot of the surrounding area. You can see why it gets confusing, but I would say basically with recyclables, I mean, there is a core amount, especially with a lot of the jurisdictions routing through green waste, which is a little more liberal with what they accept. There is some continuity with what's accepted. Sunnyvale and Smart, of course, are more restrictive on their recyclables. As a reminder, when we start routing to Smart, that'll just be garbage, so our recyclables still going to green waste. So we'd anticipate them accepting the same amounts of things, the same types of things. But given all our discussions, you know, we knew we'd be discussing outreach and event possibilities, so I just thought we'd throw this up there. A lot of thoughts on that, and I did print out some copies of the waste sorting guide that I'm sure you all have at home, posted on your refrigerator, but should, you know, since we've just talked about who does what where, and if we want to look at what we already provide, we wanted to basically remind folks that we have a ton of information about how to sort on our web pages. Just everything you could want to know. Plus, Recology has a what bin.
These should have been mailed to you. Yeah, okay. Did you get one?
Did you get a sorting guide in the mail?
Not in Cupertino, but it's the same,
And-
we're through business, so.
And to Alex's comment, we do have multi-family recycling guide fully available in multiple languages. With this QR code, and we have a little
We'll just
set
have
at
to
the very
read it.
top. So we try our best. I mean, I could opine more on that, but I just say we definitely have a lot of information online about how to do all the things. And even lookup tools. And maybe that lookup tool could be made more easily available somehow, but it's pretty good.
Is there any discussion with the city
Wait,
in order to
wait,
regionalize?
Kathy, just let me, are you done then? Or-
That's it, yes.
Okay. Now, do we have any questions?
Yes. Ursula, is there any discussion between the cities in order to regionalize this? This is very, I mean, I know from talking to the people I give workshops to, this is very confusing.
I would say, no, basically, because everyone has their own individual franchise agreements that are all on completely different timelines. And getting renewed and extended and everything all the time with their own set of requirements. I think I have heard about that. There was a county in Southern California that actually did that. They wrangled together several jurisdictions and aligned their franchise agreement. It was quite a heavy lift. I think a lot of us have a dream of that, like if only, if only we could all just do it the same way.
Talk to some of the supervisors, saying.
I mean, I think there's still the issue of
Thank you.
each facility. You know, Smart is a separate facility, Green Waste is a separate facility, there's independent. You know, operators, but I suppose the cities could decide. We're all gonna get together and only accept these certain things.
Yeah, but
It's a dream, but
there should be some general guidelines somewhere. UC Davis should have a process and what they want to do. Do you know what I mean? I look at them as the environment. Anyway,
so it would be a very heavy lift logistically, bureaucratically.
Are the slides you just presented gonna be available to us?
Yeah.
That like the pass them on to my master composters, we talked about where the different ones go.
Hmm.
And where everyone's sort of confused. Will help us in terms of our education.
That's because you get people from all over the counties.
Yes, I have the whole time.
okay, Commissioner Calver, do you have
Yes.
questions?
Yes. So what do you mean by digested by them? By, does it mean that it is what
It
happens?
is an anaerobic digester, so they're sealing it in a room and they're providing it enough whatever it needs to rapidly
Disintegrate,
compost.
compost
basically.
it.
Yeah,
Oh,
they have little bacteria in it that anaerobically, no oxygen.
Yeah.
There are no, there are different bacteria based on whether it has oxygen or not. So if it's anaerobic, it's not gonna have oxygen, and then they produce the methane and they reuse the methane.
So much of our gas is biogas that we get in the kernel from digesters.
So as I understand it, they're digesting all this commercial food waste, and you can imagine there's plastics and bags and
Everything.
gloves and whatever else in there, and that's all getting spit out at the end or sorted out at the end. Be sent to land.
Any questions?
I have one more.
Oh, sorry.
So why Palo Alto was so less? Palo Alto,
Cost,
huh?
right? It's all the subtleties of their franchise agreement.
It's like
and their-
$25 less, $20 less. Huh?
It- On the sheet, so there was prices for a 32-gallon and then a 20-gallon cart. And so Palo Alto just gives the largest discount if you produce less waste.
Oh.
Right, so their rate, they were ranked and Palo Alto fell in the middle for 32 gallons, but they're just trying to encourage less waste by giving a discount.
Los Altos doesn't.
Does that make sense?
Commissioner Fong?
One quick comment. I feel like on the outreach piece, it's always helpful to do digital campaigns with no cost. Whether that's the city's like social media accounts, I think it's just my personal recommendation for cheap and easy outreach to get the word out. Or just partnering with the
Discussion.
we're just partnering with the PIO's office on coming up with some fun videos.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Right,
Any questions? No? Okay, Commissioner Yang, any questions? Okay.
No questions.
Could we go to public comment? Any public comment? You have any comment? Okay. Connie, do you have anybody there, Commissioner Yang, for comment? No.
Does anyone have any questions? No.
Okay. All right, we had our discussion already, right? We've discussed. All right. Is there any motion that anybody wants to make? Okay, let's go on. Thank you very much.
Thank
It
you.
was very interesting, actually. I would love to go on a tour. I love those things. You can, yeah, they're very great.
We can go, like, we can do our own expense and go.
So
Yeah.
they do public tours, so, but you have to arrange them.
The smart facility, I want to do that.
Yeah,
Both facilities offer.
yeah. So does the sewage treatment plant. Okay, let's move on to item 4. Review and approve the Sustainability Commission work plan. For a list of potential topics for discussion at commission meetings.
so there's no presentation for this one, but I will pull up the attachment. That we can work through. So starting with questions, does anyone have questions about what we're doing? What the intent of this is?
I kind of know.
So council asked every commission to come up with a work plan. So these will be submitted directly to city council of what the intention of this commission, what you were working on this year. So I put this draft together based off of our 2-year work plan that we adopted in July. Plus some city work program items that were deemed a priority by council. And then I did the estimated timeline based off of when we were talking about it, when I thought it would go to our commission meeting. Based off of our 4 existing commission meetings, those are estimates, so. If, things change, but that's what I had based off of our previous conversations. Any other questions?
I'm just looking at them, so. What is item 5? Review the draft building permit streamline policy. Oh, it's okay.
I read it already, so we can.
So I have a question about the urban forest section.
Mhm.
Is there discussions about changing types of sidewalks we have around them? And what do you call it? Something swells for the water capture.
Bioswales?
What? And we've already discussed what we can't do about the canopy and PG&E, but there are things to prevent that. There's technology in terms of sidewalks and stuff that would make them more permeable and less and have less upheaval. And I just wanted to use that for.
Is it gonna be
Address-
included in the scope of that project? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I never read anything about it here. I've read about it, in other articles about other parts of the world, but not here. And urban forests have a tendency to get dehydrated and and it's not trying to be funny here, they get too much nitrogen from the dogs. And that's part of not getting enough hydration from the rain and stuff, and you get percolation issues and you get the upheavals of the sidewalks and things. And because they're searching for waters stuff, and then they're going down into the sewer line. Costs us money and stuff, so I'm just curious about that, see this. I'm also. I don't see the light pollution issues, but I do know that I can go down to Home Depot and come back with a bunch of stuff that I have to return because of the fit. Cupertino's requirements about having shade over the light.
Hmm.
So there's no sort of. I'm not, it's like.
I
Cleaning
think
up.
light pollution would be outside of the scope of this commission.
Okay, see, our commission is so wide, so I don't, why is that not?
Because it's not part of the climate action plan or environmental, general plan, environmental.
Okay,
chapters.
then I will put a lid on that one.
I can follow up if you want me to confirm that.
It's fine,
Okay.
but there's so many things involved, and then the noise pollution is always an issue.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how we're going to deal with that because you have to rat on your neighbor as opposed to targeting the polluters, and the polluters don't care because we don't have enough money for, I've already gone over this with you, but it's an issue for health. It's an issue for electrical generation as a person with solar panel will think they blow, in our dry months, dust everywhere. It hits a lot of different areas. And
But they're out of the scope, I think, right? Because I mean, what we're trying to do is look at the current plan.
okay, so it's out of scope.
Yeah, I think, we can't really generate a new plan, but we can look at it, understand it, ask questions. right?
Well, there is a rule. No, there is a law. For the blowers, it's just not enforced.
Yeah. Okay,
So
I mean, policing that, I think that's a Cupertino 311 thing.
I have no idea what we do, or do we track down the small surviving by their skin of their teeth?
No, I don't think it's a sustainability commission.
And,
It's not in our.
well, it's hard for, well, what we're doing is we do suggestion. We do recommendations to the city. I mean, do we recommend that the city find these people and offer to buy them different equipment? Whatever, I don't know. Okay, I'm going off the track, but these are everyday things that are, in my mind, part of the sustainability.
I do have a question about the trees. we're gonna do natives. Is that what we're gonna do? We're ones that are, like, our natives are changing, but are we gonna do the ones that are?
That is going to be a large conversation when we discuss the urban forest management plan. When that item comes to this commission, we will talk about it for a long time. I don't have an answer at this point.
Alright, so, but it's on the. So you wanted us to look at this and then what were you looking for?
You can approve it as written, or if there's something that since last July that you're like, I really want this commission to work on this year. That now's your opportunity to add things or take things off. Since we last approved our 2-year plan.
Also, the review, the city stuff we did already. Is there more in depth we are going to do? Like. Discuss. Neighboring, number 3, neighboring jurisdictions. Waste disposal.
I can see the date on that is today. so
That was today's,
Check
yeah.
that off.
Right?
Yeah. Well, so this is everything we're doing in 2026, which counts including today, since we only had 4 meetings.
So if we wanted to add something,
You can add something.
because the thing that I thought would be easiest for the city and for us to recommend it is when someone's going through demolition of a house. We've had several on our street. That the requirements for the people that are to do demolition is to first call in folks to strip the house of anything that could be resold. There are, and I got a number of contacts here in terms of web pages and stuff of people that do it locally. And I've seen old houses with wonderful old wood and everything. They just go in with an excavator and destroy it. But it's easy and cheap for them. But there's a lot of, that would be something that would be doing with recycling. It would be also, what do you call it?
Upcycling, yeah,
Upcycling.
deconstruction is, Palo Alto has actually a deconstruction ordinance for certain housing stock. That's something we occasionally have thought about. We just had a presentation at the regional tech.
Yeah,
Recently about it. I didn't know that there were maybe smaller companies will come in and just cherry pick small. I don't wanna trigger a discussion, but just to say that is something we're aware of.
okay, well, it would be something that I think maybe if we agreed as a commission. On giving a recommendation and maybe giving more pointers or
At that time.
it was something that was not on here.
Yeah, that what he's talking about is construction material, which is very
It's talking
different.
about deconstructing, it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, deconstruction and green demolition.
It is part of our cap to conduct a construction and demolition feasibility study to determine if the city can expand C&D waste diversion requirements. So that is an appropriate topic if you wanted to talk about C&D.
I think that's good. I mean, so many people buy and just demolish. It should be a requirement that I think that's true.
Okay.
Just went and pulled some stuff off an old house.
Would you like to suggest specific wording or would you like me to take a stab at?
You can take a stab at it, because you kind of know what the lingo is.
We're okay at ravaging you.
I'm thinking something about seeing what other policies are out there and hearing about cost differences or, something along that line, getting maybe more information about it,
I was thinking a study session.
like I said.
Do you want best practices or current? Yeah. Okay.
I would add deconstruction in there somewhere.
Yeah,
Okay.
Separate thing.
they call it green deconstruction.
Okay.
And I have another one.
Okay. Real quick, we didn't open for public comment.
Okay,
Is there any other questions before we do that?
Questions, public comments?
Absolutely.
Okay, Connie, Commissioner Yan, do you have any public comments or questions?
No comments. Any comments from the public? No.
Okay. All right,
Okay, the other one was. I'm a little, we might already be covering this, but basically, we're trying to move towards. Not of having recyclable, and most likely recyclable means compostable material from restaurants. But my proposal is that we don't go 100% on that. Some things we don't have good technology for to-go items like straws. I think forks and spoons, we got good ones. For containers, we have wonderful paper variations and everything. But there are some implements, maybe it's just straws, I don't know. I know the chopsticks don't have to be plastic. That we could, as opposed to trying to go 100%, that we.
There are good quality bamboo straws. Bamboo straws. But the restaurants have to provide.
Yeah, I mean, but see, it's a cost issue. I mean, basically, if you're living on a very narrow margin, you can't go with when the price goes down enough and we have a good alternative, yes, we can push it. But until then, we back off, sort of like the gas range thing for the commercial restaurants. We had to back off on that. Okay, so sometimes it's better to give a little bit of pressure relief. That's how I look at it. It's like, we're not making you have to give up everything. We're just giving up these. Did I muddle the water too much? I know
It sounds like wanting to formally revisit the single-use foodware ordinance requirement.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. But I'm just
looking for wording.
Yeah, no.
I'm just checking if that's what I'm hearing.
throwing out as opposed to. We've got so much pushback on people who got it wrong when they think that we're going to force them to rip out all their gas stuff, their legacy gas stuff. We were saying, no, when you replace, you'll have to want to do it. But people are absolutely polarized up in the arms because we're going to just do the whole thing. So we need to be our wording and the battles we pick, I think need to be much more certain. I don't know, it might.
that I was looking at worst case scenario, no boba places in Cupertino at all, so they go somewhere else. Why would you want to be here if you go to Santa Clara, make a cheaper cup of boba, make more money? And then you put in miles, right? People drive far to get it.
Yeah.
So you're kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul.
So what we do is we don't get straws from boba's. We have at home metal straws.
Sure.
But then if you are going somewhere out of the blue, then it's kind of a problem because whatever they give, we have to pay.
My wife came home today with milkshakes and burgers for all of us. I was very happy. But it was plastic straws and.
Yeah, so we don't, but if we do that, to go, we don't get straws from there. We just have at home metal
You
straws.
do that, and you're gonna have a scenario that Susan just, Commissioner Hanson just stated, that they're gonna drive an extra 4 or 5 months.
No, we don't get straws from the place.
Okay, sorry, we're pulling you back in.
Sorry.
So I took a stab update on the status and compliance levels of Cupertino single-use plastic ordinance.
Yes.
Good, yes, thank you.
Great.
Perfect. All right,
I
can we respond? We're done with discussion.
Is there anything else that people wanted to add? I'll remind you, we only have 3 more meetings this year, so I just wanna keep you right.
So, we already talked about like separating paper. And that time, our old commissioner, forgot his name, but he said that there was a discussion, but there was a price to it because of a new bin and all that. Can we revisit that and see if that is possible?
Adding a bin for paper, separating at the curb.
Like the stream of adding the fourth stream, right? Like that.
If I can make it, so our franchise agreement is up in 2030. And I think that it would be a better time to address that when that's being drafted. So
I mean, I was just thinking that we are allowed to change our mind on that, but we would have to totally reopen the agreement. It would change.
The
insurance,
containers.
the
it would
facility, it
change.
would change the containers, it would change the rates, it would be a huge lift.
But is there a possibility of knowing how much money is involved, like a small?
No, won't be a small amount. I mean, we went to the council meeting, right? That was a huge thing. Are they gonna approve increasing the rates? And we had people protesting. Pretty much people were talking against increasing the rates, right?
One person. But. Yeah, I would agree that the natural iteration would be at the next time
Yeah, because the beans are provided by ecology, right? Anyway,
I'm sorry,
the beans are provided by ecology.
the beans? Oh, bins, or sorry.
Yeah, beans.
Bins are provided by, yeah.
They charge you for them. And they charge you for the extra passage of the truck to pick them up. I'm just thinking the process of collecting.
Yeah,
Right,
rather than-
I do have a quick question here. 9 items is a lot for the commission to take on, considering that we have 3 meetings left. So where does staff foresee items 8 and 9 being placed in our schedule?
Sorry. I think we have time. We don't have anything scheduled right now for April. I do think that these are tentative dates. Number 5 is pending council direction of a memo. That's going out any day now. And so that could also not be on your work program. So you do have opportunity. We only have 1 October item and 2 July items, and then the first 2 depends on the progress made, since the water conservation turf I'm hoping to bring in July, it might be October. And urban forest management plan, I know they're drafting the scope currently. And then they're going to do a lot of public outreach. They're going to do a lot of what's possible research on the back end. My guess is probably October, but that's a guess.
And I'm just thinking too, because whatever we decide next meeting about this subcommittee, that's also another thing that we gotta work on.
Yep. Well, and then Denali, I wasn't trying to make light of you want a separate container, but that's just all going to recycling and it's getting diverted. It is being recycled as much as we recycle. It's not like it's being recycled. It's just not clean. And then you also have do people really put clean paper in clean this bin?
Mhm.
So, I mean, I think the 3 processing one, at least somebody goes through and puts it in the right place. And as Jack said, if they put something wrong in the clean stuff, then you spoil the whole load. So that's what I like about the post-processing, is I know it's being directed in the right place. It's expensive. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I will make a motion to approve this work plan as is.
Okay, so you're approving the draft with the adjustment of, or the addition of number 8 and 9.
That's correct.
Is there a second?
Oh, wait, you didn't ask Connie.
Oh, Connie,
Yeah.
do you have any input? Any questions, discussion? No.
Connie, can you hear us? You have no input? Okay.
No input.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, is there a second then? Anybody want to second Alice's motion?
I think,
Okay, can we have a roll call vote?
Commissioner Carter,
I,
Commissioner Gonkar,
Aye.
Commissioner Yang,
Yes.
Vice Chair Fung,
Aye.
Chair Hansen.
Aye.
The motion carries unanimously.
Thank you. All right, let's move on to the last and final item, item 5. Discuss and make a recommendation to appoint a sustainability commissioner. That's already,
I know. So the term of the economic development representative is a 1-year term and it expires every year because the commissioner could term out of the sustainability commission and they didn't want the person to be appointed as an economic development representative, but not able to attend because they're no longer on sustainability commission. So you have to make a recommendation every year. And so you can recommend the same person, you can recommend a new person. But we do need a formal motion to make a recommendation.
I thought it was because I was sick during my.
can we have a motion? Does anybody want to make a motion? Jack, you okay with reappointing?
Jack, do you still want to be on?
I'm fine with being on it. I just have, we had one meeting and I was,
Sick.
believe me, you didn't want me to be there.
Okay, all right, so motion? You have a motion?
Yeah, I can make a motion to have Commissioner Carter as appointed as a Economic Development Committee
For
member from.
both of us, right?
No, there's only one.
One.
There's only one.
Joe
Yeah.
Bailiwick.
Okay, I thought you were on it too.
No. Well, my day job is an economic development manager, but
Okay,
yeah,
anyway, fine.
Okay, second?
yeah, I second. Yeah.
Okay. Can we take a vote? Or do you want to just,
Yes, we can take a vote. Commissioner Carter,
Reluctantly, aye.
Commissioner Gonkar,
Aye.
Commissioner Yang,
Aye.
I
Vice
thought
Chair.
Connie was begging that we would make it her.
Vice Chair Fung,
Aye.
Chair Hansen.
aye.
The motion carries unanimously.
Okay, we can now move on to future agenda settings. Does any?
Oh, sorry,
Oh, no?
we forgot to open public comment for the item.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there any public comment?
No.
Okay, sorry about that. We went out of order. Can we move now on to finally doing future agenda setting?
Yes.
Okay, so does any member of the commission wish to add an item or remove an item from this list? We must, for future agenda setting. Okay, we must have 2 commissioners agree to add or remove.
No, we just approve a work plan, right?
Yep,
With those items on the work plan.
well, and then there was, okay. Any other thing that you want to add on future agenda?
During the earlier conversation, we talked about adding an item to form a subcommittee to address. I would leave it open-ended at this point to address waste.
Stuff.
Um,
Do we want it to be even more broad about just a subcommittee to address outreach or something?
Outreach is good.
Done.
okay.
Just don't want to pin us into a corner and then we have to wait another meeting on a different one.
Yeah, leave it open ended. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anybody want to make a motion?
We don't need to do roll call. We just
Okay.
need 2 people to agree.
I agree.
Well, I'm sorry, is there like a list that we're supposed to look at or how do we?
I can pull up the existing list. Give me 1 second.
I know we're eager to go home, but I want to do this right, so.
Might as well do it right, dang.
So when is our next meeting? It's second.
April, right? Yeah, April.
16.
Was about right.
Okay. Um. Okay. This is not a very formal document, but this is my ongoing list of future agenda items, and so we will insert a new row. So form a subcommittee to
Evaluate or plan, suggest.
draft waste.
Outreach program.
You had said it better before, but
And are we set on limiting it to waste?
Sustainability outreach, then we have more leeway. Sustainability outreach plan.
Focus on outreach and education opportunities, or?
okay, thank you.
So right now, how many staff members do we have?
Two.
Two, and then we have.
For sustainability specifically? Well, we're a combo division, so people wear a lot of hats, so. Even Lori isn't 100%
So what to do?
full little piece of her to. Waste world, Jasmine was a variety of things, including sustainability. Our fellow, I guess, is all sustainable. Yeah, I'd have to break out the budget allocation documents to tell you how many FTEs are exactly.
We got our fellow back.
We did get a fellow.
I sad when the other one left.
Yes, and it was triumph of the human spirit to get them one, but persevered.
Um,
By we, I mean.
can't say event.
How about just focus on outreach?
Maybe not form, but you know, have a discussion about whether or not we want to form and move to have a subcommittee. Do you know what I mean?
That's
Like,
part of it.
Huh?
Included.
Yeah, what Lindsay had said earlier is that it needs to be agendized that you are going to form a subcommittee.
Or
Okay,
at least talk about the option too.
yeah,
And I guess if we don't form it, we can always just deny that.
They can go against that recommendation, but the recommendation would be to form a subcommittee.
okay. All right,
You don't have to do what we tell you.
April 17th, Jack Carter, just kidding. Sonali.
I mean, the discussion's baked in.
I'm just thinking that it would be helpful if came in with a list of ideas.
I have mine here. I didn't pass it out.
Are we okay with how this is worded, or does anyone want to reword it?
And the waste sources.
Okay,
Okay, and sorry, who? Alex and, sorry, Commissioner Fung and Chair Hansen?
yeah.
Okay. Great, thank you all.
All right. Anything else?
Thank you, happy new year.
All right, I'm gonna call the meeting at 5:51.